Oh my gosh, this is me! This is me!
This is a powerful black trans woman just living her best life. I'm here for this.
That was like ASMR. I'm hooked.
Hey, me too. Hello, hello, hello. I'm Raven Smith. Welcome to Pride Video Club. This week, we are talking about representations of youth in LGBTQI+ media. I am joined by two fantastically young and fantastically chatty guests. It is the wonderful Dodie and the wonderful Kenny Ethan Jones. Guys, welcome to the show.
Hello! What's up? How's it going?
How are you both doing this young day?
I had some really weird dreams, and Kenny couldn't sleep, so we think it's the full moon.
It's the full moon, and it's all the youth coursing through your bodies. First of all, I'm going to ask Dodie and Kenny to tell me the 3 LGBTQIA+ films that they would gift to their younger selves.
I have 2 films and 1 series. One film is The Favourite.
Stop it! I am the queen, but you are mad.
Surprisingly gay. I was not expecting it, and then bam, in the middle you're like, oh, this is the storyline. It's so weird. It's like set in that like strange period sort of time, and then yeah, you're like, oh, this is completely not what I thought it was about, and it's like this love triangle.
I must be at the Queen's side and behest at all times. It is my role.
Oh, such loyalty. How delightful it is when one tries to cultivate a new trait in one's character.
That's a good one.
Have you been wearing Baroque pearls since watching it?
No. But I should be. The second one, Portrait of a Lady on Fire.
Regardez-moi.
I fell in love with them as they fell in love and had to go back and spend more time with them and got my heart broken all over again. And then the series I would show myself is FLEABAG.
What have you found in your abstinence?
Well, I'm very horny and your little scarf isn't helping.
Beautifully complex and funny, but so smart and such a beautiful story.
I'll be honest, I don't necessarily have 3, but I have one really good one, and it's Paris is Burning.
A fine choice.
I think it's just a representation of queerness, and it's like seen in this quite beautiful light, although that kind of navigates the difficulties of being queer, and I still remember how it made me feel.
It's probably one of the best films ever. How do you think the portrayal of young LGBTQI+ characters has changed since you were watching them as much younger people than you are now?
I didn't really see much, if I'm honest. Like any queer characters, I think they'd be presented as strange.
The creeps. You give me the creeps. Can't move without dicky, like a little girl all the time. Shut up!
Like sort of other characters, you know?
Do you think that's changing now?
Definitely, yeah. People want to like elevate those stories and show them as strong and as beautiful and really go into the complexities of like what it means to be queer.
I think before it was always kind of seen as the butt of the joke.
Gun is digging into my hip.
Or like as otherness, or like you shouldn't be celebrated in any way. Definitely now I'm seeing, yeah, like more complexity being added to characters, like actual narratives, trans people playing trans people. That's quite wonderful to see, because before it was kind of like men that were essentially drag queens playing trans people. So it's like people believe that a trans woman is a man in a dress because of the representation. You know, the representation there just wasn't right. It wasn't authentic. You can kind of tell when a film is made by that person, or like that person was brought on board. It's just very authentic. It's very them. It just feels right.
Do we think there's a stereotype about troubled LGBTQI youth?
It's tough when people try and tell stories about their struggles, and that doesn't make you feel very good. Which is why I think something like Love, Simon is such a helpful film, because it's just a like cheesy rom-com.
Just like you, I have a totally, perfectly normal life. Except I have one huge-ass secret.
I like your boots. Goodbye.
Nobody knows I'm gay.
It's like a fun like chick flick almost, except it's about being gay and a very sweet kind of love story. And I think what that does for people who haven't seen that before, it like almost slips it under and like lets them see just how natural and normal and beautiful that can be.
I think the fact that it's always kind of based on, oh, there's trouble around the corner, or this person's had a problem coming out as being gay or trans or lesbian or bisexual. It's like, why are we always focusing on that? Like, we should have love stories and happy endings too.
It's you. It's me.
And what stories would you like to see in the future?
I would like to see more stories around sex. Because like, I just never seen that, and like depending on where you are in your transition and whether or not you're deciding to have surgery and all of those things, like how you encounter your sexual interactions would be different. And I just don't really see the nuance really spoken about.
There's so much sex, straight sex in media. It's in everything you watch. We're really lacking in those real scenes that queer people will watch and go, yes, that's it. That's what I've been feeling, and someone else can feel that too.
So Dodie, tell me why you picked the clip you've picked.
So Booksmart is a film about these two best friends, and their whole goal of the film is to have a wild night and go to a party finally.
My favourite part about that film is the way that they consistently compliment each other.
Yes!
Who allowed you to be this beautiful?
Who allowed you to be this beautiful?
Who allowed you to take my breath away?
Call the
Who gave
paramedics.
you- No,
Call the police, because there has been an emergency.
I can't look right at it.
I love that, like, the hype between them. It was like, yeah, you're good now, you're a good person. Like, all of these kind of, like, back and forth.
Me and my flatmate dressed up as them for Halloween. We got the berets, the drum suits, and everything. One particular character called Amy has a massive crush on this girl who you are convinced is also queer. Finally, they get to the party. This is this huge climax. They've been seemingly flirting all night, and there is this heartbreaking reveal.
Oh God!
It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful.
It's just that exquisite, full-on teenage pain.
I think the way it's been shot and the way these two like intertwine, it's almost like, oh, like, of course. And then like when she gets out of the pool and she puts on her clothes, it's almost like she's walking in shame. And then like just at that end bit, we saw like she sees another couple kissing and she turns away, and it's like, oh God, of course, like at a party it's so easy for like boys and girls to hook up, like there they are. And I've been trying all night and I just feel silly.
Okay, Kenny, what clip have you chosen?
I've chosen the last episode of Euphoria. What I like about this clip, as in terms of like, you don't need to know the backstory, it's just a really nice representation of a trans character, Jules, who happens to be trans in real life. So she's just gone away and she's come back and she's reunited with her best friend. But there's this kind of like love story between them that is slowly unfolding. I just really love this scene.
What do you mean she bit you? Like, when we were hooking up, she, like, fully bit me.
They capture that intimacy. They capture Rue trying to, like, get her attention by, like, when she puts her hand on the side of her.
Did it, like, feel good? Yeah, it felt amazing. That's it. Has anyone ever done that to you? No. Do you want to see what it feels like? Oh, I don't know.
That was like ASMR, honestly. I think like all the close angles and the like whispering and the little like attention. Oh gosh, yes.
You can feel the tension between them. Like there's something there and you're not quite sure yet, but you just want it to happen. And that's what I really liked about that.
It's super intimate.
So good. I want to know why, like what that dynamic is. What is that relationship? I'm so interested.
It's beautifully shot.
Every angle in that is so right. It's just wonderful. Like every scene is back-to-back epic.
It's like there's no cameras there, as well as it being beautifully shot. It feels so intimate between the two characters.
It's like I'm waiting on the edge of my seat for the next scene.
Right, well, I'm in.
On Twitter this week, we asked people to present us with the characters that inspired their queer awakening while they were growing up. Becca tweeted to say, I'm straight, but I give huge props to Buffy the Vampire Slayer for being one of the first shows to have a lesbian couple as main characters. I love Willow. Yes! How have you not seen that, like, by series 3, they are fully fledged lesbian lovers?
Wow.
When was Buffy aired? That's interesting.
I'm going to say, like, 98.
That's early.
Diana Argon, who played Quinn in Glee. It took me a while to realise I actually fancied her. I thought having a picture on her as my phone background was a totally normal straight thing to do.
Oh my gosh, this is me, except it's not Quinn from Glee. Do you know what my queer awakening was? And I told my manager this, and he was like, oh, I didn't realize they had queer characters in this. I was like, they didn't. It's H2O, just add water.
What?
Because there's just 3 girls who get semi-naked a lot.
Yeah.
And I was like so confused. I remember looking up all of their names. I was trying to add the actress on Bebo.
Oh my gosh.
Which, like, I'm pretty sure that wasn't her real account, but I was just like, please be my friend and plait my hair.
I feel a magnet towards you.
And yeah, become my desktop background for a while. And then my friends would say, what's that? And I'd go, I just really like them. I don't know why.
Got a big girl crush.
exactly. It's just a girl crush. It's just a
Kenny,
girl crush.
do you have any queer awakening moment?
No, because all the representation of trans people was terrible. I don't really want to accept that might be my reality. So I feel like movies kind of like, or films or representation kind of like pushed me back and was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about that. Kind of like my earlier days. It's not even a movie. It's just, you remember Tracy Beaker?
Yeah.
I absolutely love Tracy Beaker. I just felt like, okay, she's obviously a tomboy. At that time, I was very young, and this was like pre-transition. There was a lot of similarities in terms of like, I just always felt anger. And I was like, why is the world treating me like this? And although I wasn't adopted, I had a great family. It was like this, I don't know. There was just something I related to so much within that story. I realized that it wasn't necessarily her that I was looking at. It was rather I could relate to her life and kind of where it was going. The first kind of person who I came across and was like, wow, she's an amazing woman was Laverne Cox. I was like, wow, like, this is a powerful Black trans woman just living her best life. Like, I'm here for this. And that came a lot later in life for me, so.
We're now moving into our round called Spin-Off or Bin-Off, where we look at marginal LGBTQI+ characters in film and TV and entertainment and decide whether or not we think they deserve their own spin-off show with them as a central character. First up, Lionel Higgins in Dear White People.
You into girls? Guys? It's a theater party. Gotta ask. Kinda like you. Don't really buy them labels.
They don't put enough emphasis on him. Like, they have like really like nice like bits that go along the story, but I think that's what makes it really nice. I feel like if the entire show was about him, so it's like, I don't know if he could have his own spin-off. It wouldn't be the same thing.
What about High School Musical, Ryan Evans?
Yeah, I'd see that. He deserves his own spin-off where he's out and proud.
This is his little dog and his flat cat. What do you think he'd be doing in the show?
Incredible riffs. That's what he'd be doing. He's awesome.
Incredible riffs. Got Willow again from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Given the time that it was at and when it was made, it needs its own spin-off on the basis that we need more representation.
Give her a new show.
Really? Me?
Orange is the New Black, Laverne Cox.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Spin it off. We're saying spin it off.
She was always my favourite character. Yeah, for sure. I would watch her forever.
Whatever she would decide to make that character, it would just be wonderful. Like, she plays the character so well. Like, the scenes are... they spoke to me.
The work that she does communicating her queerness and growing up is so real.
In a board attorney, one will be appointed for you. Do you understand these rights as I just read them to you?
Yes.
With these rights in mind, do you wish to speak to me?
No.
And I feel like that's what we're talking about. We need more stories like that, and she would do that so well. Get her to write, direct, act. Boom.
Scott Pilgrim.
Ramona Flowers!
If we're gonna date, you may have to defeat my 7 evil exes.
Ramona Flowers.
She's Scott Pilgrim's new crush, I think, and he has to defeat the 7 deadly exes or something like that. Like, just has to like battle all of her exes in the past. And it's such a curveball when a girlfriend shows up. It's like sort of like boy, obviously, and you're watching this however long ago it was, and you're just not expecting it, and then suddenly there's a girl.
Just a phase? You had a sexy phase? It meant nothing. I didn't think it would count. It meant nothing? I was just a little bi-curious.
And it is this sort of like head turn moment of like, wait, what? Ramona Flowers is just like, meh. And she's so cool and so badass, and I would love to see her bi story.
Sadly, that's all we've got time for this week. Just thank you so much, Dodie, and thank you so much, Kenny. It's been an absolute pleasure having you.
Thanks so much. This has been so interesting. If anything, I've just come out with a long list of things I need to watch. Thank you. Good.
Kenny, thank you.
No, thank you. This has been wonderful. Like, honestly, just kind of speaking on the realities of being queer and kind of understanding where we are and, where we need to be. It's really wonderful to reflect on that. So, yeah, no, thank you for having me.
Bye. Goodbye. Thank you for watching Pride Video Club. You can still donate to the wonderful charities below. That is transgender charity Mermaids and mental health charity MindOut. I've been Raven Smith. Thank you very much.